Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. If you're from the short, you already have a backstory. If not, our word was, what was it? Establish. Establishing something, bringing it into our experience. This could have came through as just in self, getting to a place and allowing that to ripple out, and then our external will reflect it. Or we have been trying to bring something uh, in the external into our experience. Things like buying a house or moving in general, new place to live, a loan, car, business opportunity, maybe even a new partner. And normally I don't try to do messages like this only because of the people that are stuck in a place of hopium with no action. And the reason I say that is when we are taking action towards something, we are putting our effort into it. We are trying. Even if we fail, there is still that effort. It is still shown. It is not truly a failure. We tried. We put ourselves out there in some way, which to try to bring it in. We showed our effort. We put skin in the game. If we are just sitting there and something magical comes through, in a message, and we just grab it, are we taking effort towards it? Are we changing ourselves? Are we putting anything into it? If we are, the supporting engine number card has clearly claimed that a wish come true. Angels are granting your wish, fulfillment, dream made, real success, manifesting. Like I said again, if we've made the effort and put our energy into something, we've tried, even if we've failed, we have shown that we are making an effort. We are trying. We are dedicated to this. I am going to ring some bells here and connect, see what comes through. If it resonates, feel free to like or comment. If it doesn't, don't make it fit. This might be a little loud, so if you're sensitive, you may want to turn your volume down. Right off the bat, the bells, normally it would be just one chime every time I struck them, but when it hit, it reverberated, or however we say that. It is uh, the ripple effect. There is the effort is noticed and will be returned. It is coming back. It is the give and take. I see like a string that uh, reacted like a rubber band. If I pulled it and the vibration, it reverberated. However we say that word, it is very clear that the effort that was put in is not gone unnoticed. And there is a return. Like I said, when uh, it is nice to stay and hope that things come in that make everything all better, but we have to take action somehow, big or small. And when we do, there is a ripple effect, whether just working on self and trying to get to a better place of, limiting beliefs or self confidence, self esteem, however we present ourselves, there's a ripple effect that changes our external naturally because of the mirror. If we are making an effort towards, trying to bring something into our reality, like trying to move, find a new place to live or a new job, or seeing that, hey, this relationship isn't really good for me, I'm going to pull back and find something that is suited for me. That's showing that, hey, I deserve better. I want better, and I'm making an effort to bring that into my experience. And by doing so, it has to meet that match, that vibrational response. When we stay in a place of inactivity and want something to just come make it all better, I think in the shorter message I said, uh, this has to come in for me to feel safe or okay to take the next step. I need to feel comfortable before making the next step, and we don't grow in comfort. And that's where that courage comes from. It's rewarding us for our courage or our strength or our belief in ourself, in our intuition, or spirit guide, whatever led us into this direction to find a place of peace and empowerment for ourselves. The moon, unveiled truth. seeing things for what they are in general, whether people, places, or things. Understanding also that, hey, I don't have to uh, sacrifice myself in a way that this is just my life and that's it. The saying, uh, I just don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but live within your means, as in, uh, hey, you were born and raised in this, what do they call them, classes or categories, and this is where you stay. This is just how it is. You are going to be miserable like the rest of us, and that's that. uh, Knowing that we don't have to stay in that place, we don't have to accept that fate, if you will, the direction, the confinement. No different than a job or a relationship in general, whether romantic, platonic, or family, that I deserve better than this, and uh, I'm either going to receive that, and if I don't, I'm going to make an effort towards what betters me, what I do deserve, respect. The Chariot reversed, impulsive acts. We can look at this in two different ways, that almost uh, giving a feeling of like a tower moment and self-induced. You know, we have to change things or pull things out of our experience to make room for new, and by doing so, otherwise, we are technically accepting that situation. If we're in a toxic situation, or in a relationship or an experience that is less than, and we stay there because we're safe and it brings a bit of comfort, however it may be, even though it may be doing more damage than the way that we're perceiving it in our mind as comfort or safety, we are saying, okay, I settle for this. I'm satisfied with this. And we kind of close ourselves off. And that's where we get in that mindset of, well, it'll just come in to make it better because I want it to be better. But are we taking any action? We closed off. But when we open up, and sometimes we have to make action, we need to make a move on that, and that can be come off a bit impulsive, depending on what it was. If we already did it, if we didn't yet, do what's in your comfort zone. But this is like this self-induced tower moment. We put ourselves in a risk. Hopefully it's calculated, and sometimes it's just on a whim, but we have this feeling, we know, and we're putting our energy, we're making that effort, we're taking that action into something, and it is rewarded. We had that courage, we had that belief, that trust. Going back in time, the Chariot, I always see that guy as I-piss excellence. And maybe we were in a place that we weren't, and we were a bit, I don't want to say sabotaging, but settling. We didn't feel like we were the best. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. It is a deserving way. And again, not in an entitled way. It is just sovereignty. It is like, listen, I don't need to be treated like shit or treated like less than, because I'm keeping myself small, because it makes me feel safe with what I'm getting. I'm settling, whether in a relationship or a job or a living situation, whatever it is. I am in this class, I am less than, this is as good as it gets, and I should be happy with that. There's nothing wrong with gratitude, and when we don't have things and we get them, it is a very grateful time. But what I'm trying to say is not from an arrogant standpoint or an entitled standpoint. It is it is respect of self, and maybe we were in a place that we weren't doing that so much, and it the word sabotage comes off a bit strong, but it's more like settling and closing off. And until we start to see things and we open up and we make changes, will there be room for new? Because we're respecting ourselves. Ten of Wands, overcommitment. Uh, I think of often trying to get places in our life and working extremely hard for that. And hard work can be rewarding, but sometimes it's debilitating. And in the circumstances that we may be in, or find ourselves in at times. We can work as much as we can until we run our body into the ground, but yet there's hardly any movement because the odds are stacked up against us. And until we navigate a new way or take a chance down a different path to change that, will we ever have a chance? Because otherwise, I mean, the math is the math, and the situation is the situation. And if it's limited, well, then that's that. We settle in a way of saying, well, this is all it can be, until we really see things for what they are, believe in ourselves, start to respect ourselves, and take those moves forward. But, in general, Ten of Wands is often seen as the ending. We're done carrying this overcommitment, this burden, and starting to see things differently, taking action towards it. Four of Wands reversed. Delayed festivities. Maybe we're in a place that we made a move such like this, and the reason I laugh is because I've experienced this often through healing experiences or changing things and removing things and wondering, well, of course we want it right away. Why isn't it here yet? What is still the holdup? If we've, gone through deep experiences of healing or transitions and removing things that, we finally did see were unhealthy for us, whether physically or mentally, socially, spiritually. And why hasn't that caught up yet? What is going on? I often say, let's just use our body as physical. It's a clock. It gets affected no different than in daylight savings time when an animal gets fed at 4 o'clock every day, and all of a sudden we change the hour. Well, part of the year it thinks it's getting lucky, and the other part of the year it's like, why are you punishing me? So our body is the same way. Let's just say we were dealing with anxiety and we worked through that. Or our cells are ready to fight or flight all the time. They have to catch up too. Six of Pentacles reversed. Selfishness. There had to be a level, depending on who's viewing it, your actions can come off very selfish. Majority of the time when someone sees it that way, they were benefiting from us in a less than place. If we were coming out of a place of giving a lot or putting others before yourself, and now they're not receiving that, you are selfish. That's how it's viewed because it's directly affecting them. Now, if we see somebody that actually is supportive of you finding some sort of stability, establish, whatever that is, establish stability in self, working on yourself to have that ripple effect out, or really focusing on getting your place to a place of stability that maybe others have and you haven't yet. Whatever that may look like. It doesn't have to be just a house or a living situation or a great job. It can just be a place of feeling comfortable. And that can be tangible in the matter, but it can also be in here and not being so affected by all the energies around us, people, places, or things, society in general. Balancing that. But there had to be, maybe you feel like you're being selfish if you really came from a place and we built boundaries, self-respect, and now having to portray this foundation you're building now for yourself, whether in the material or internal, but might be pulling on your strings a bit of guilt. And obviously that's a transition of an old mindset that you would be leaving, going through that. But at the same token, how else were you supposed to move forward before you started to respect yourself or, build some boundaries and enforce them? The star, inspiration, would have led you here. We have all of these little ideas that come into our mind, or different ways of going about things, mindsets, and do we act on them or not? Some sound crazy, far-fetched. A lot of times, let's say we come across something and it starts to seem interesting, but it's a little far-fetched. Why are we drawn to that? Why do we feel like we're interested in that? Or maybe a craft or a hobby, we're traveling to a certain place. There's reasons behind all of this. But also getting to a place of actually trusting yourself and spirit, God, source, divine, whatever we're subscribed to, that you're going to be taken care of, propelled, and you're being pushed in this direction. And it can be extremely uncomfortable. But all you really have there is we can't put too much faith and trust on the external. And the only reason I'm saying this is in a way of we have to also build that inside of ourself. And if we don't have that and we're completely relying on there, oh, we're giving up a lot of our faith, our power in general, of a way of staying in that place of hopium with inaction. You know, we make the effort and we trust the process. We can get into a lot of doubt in our minds at times, depending on this delayed festivity. Just get a closing card here. We got the devil sideways. Oh, we got two cards. Devil sideways. Self addictions and empowerment. This push and pull. Addictions doesn't have to be just things that distract us in a way to not deal with things. It can be grabbing a hold of something to feel safe, which naturally we could do with addictions as well. But let's just look at, say we were going to start a business and we had to leave our job, that paycheck, that made us feel safe. Letting go of that, but going towards this greater option that we believe in ourselves for. Or quitting an addiction in general. This was distracting me and now I'm going to focus on other things. Who am I going to become? Leading to a place of empowerment. This can be a push and pull. Maybe times we think, was it easier to go back to the way life was before? That is going to be a push and a pull at all times, especially if we're going through a difficult spot. Maybe a day here and there, or a week or a month. The pull back to there was the old way, and comfort was found in that space, whether it was toxic or not. People, places, or things, because that's all we knew. That's what we experienced, and we got through it, so we know how it went. That's how control gets involved. The older we get, the more we experience, the more we see, and we see how things went when we did this or that. So it's just repetition, and it's proof that we got through something or experienced something, or it went a certain way. So we reflect a lot on that, and maybe we beat ourselves up on current circumstances or how things once were and how they are now. And we're like, well, if I just go back, it makes me feel safe because I know what happened. Letting go of that and really believing in yourself and having that trust in yourself that you can create whatever it is that you're striving towards. You may have had to deal with that a lot because, like I said, it's the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen, and we have to have that trust and faith in self to create that and to satisfy whatever need it is that we feel like the old would provide. We then had the Three of Wands. This came out sideways as well. In reverse, we had impatience and expansion. This kind of ties into what I was just saying. We want it to come to fruition, obviously. Who wouldn't? And we're ready for it. Why is it taking so long if we are in a bit of a longer delay than normal? Or if we've just taken this experience and we're thinking it should be here, voila. The mindset of where we're truly going, what is actually truly taking place, this back and forth of this, the past in general, what we once knew was safe and what was proven to us. I was just writing a blog and it had to do with fear, and it went into, I was talking about spiritual experiences, seeing beings and things like that. And if I tried to tell somebody something like that, or an experience like this, and they don't see like that, it would be led by fear, and it has to be proven. If it can't be proven, it can't be true. And we live in a society like that, and it's human nature to want to prove things. So let's say I see things and maybe I think I'm crazy, and I want to talk to somebody because I need that external proof. So this proof is needed by both parties, the person that saw and the person that doesn't see. Uh, I'm looking for it because I see it and I want something to validate that, yeah, this is real. But then the other person needs it to be proven because they can't see it. So it's kind of this need for proof, which we do in just about everything, whether we want to admit it or not. We're constantly looking for confirmations to validate the confirmation we just had. When does trust come into play? When does trust come into ourselves, as well as we see external God source, divine spirit guides? When that trust is truly embedded in us, it's an unstoppable force. And uh, really need to cultivate that to easily uh, walk through into this new beginning and change this delay festivity into a joyous occasion. I'm going to leave that there. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.